to be true. I knew it. 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 Do you know when you charge somebody back that large amount of money and you charge it back? You charge $345 in my account. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Yo, this man just broke his own table, bro. This man playing Mortal Kombat or what? Yo, this is MarlonGamingNation right here, man. All because somebody charged back that $350.
I knew it.
Test your might.
Do you know when you charge somebody back
hey, yo, man,
that large amount
we
of
starting
money
this year off with a bang.
You charge it back. You charge $345 in my account. That's the worst thing that you can.
Man, he went to go get himself a Series S. That's what he did, man. What do you don't understand, MarlonGamingNation? People out here struggling. You know, I mean, you out here getting mad because this man pulled $350 out of your account, which is crazy because that money's not even there until, you know, it gets processed at the end of the month or whatever have you. But who knows? He might have needed it more important. You never thought of that? You know, I thought you was a God-loving man and you don't even think that maybe that was a little too much. Maybe he needs it for something more important. You know, people are all struggling here. So you thought it was perfectly acceptable to take $350. Like I said, if he was generous, but maybe things caught up. You know, maybe he needs to take that payment for so he can pay for something. Now, I get it. He still had to go to the bank, and to some people, it could be classified as an Indian giver. But you don't know the mindset of where this person's head was at. You don't know if he's struggling just like you are. But yet, you out here doing raging demons on your table, test your might, because somebody pulled $350 out of your little YouTube donation.
A lot of you guys depend on these shows. You know what I'm saying? And because of the support of you guys, why we're able to continue to do these shows. Without y'all support, I don't know how to say it. Oh. Let it out. But if you donate, if you donate to somebody out of generosity, if you donate to somebody out of generosity, then, why would you charge it back? Why? Why would you charge it back?
Because maybe he needed it for something more important, man. $350 is a lot for anybody. You know what I'm saying? So for you to think, obviously, that it was bad. I mean, yeah, people do play jokes like this. I get it. But clearly he gave you $350 because he clearly enjoyed your channel. You know? And like I would tell people, there's nothing more important than yourself. So if he needed to take that money so he could feed his own children, by all means, that chargeback was justifiable. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you trying to ask questions as to why he did it, and you just mad because you don't got it anymore. That's all it is, bro. You get what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous, man. It wasn't even your money in the first place. You should be grateful that he even decided to give you that in the first place, but you're mad maybe due to the fact that something, you know, got caught up and he's like, hey, man, I really need this money. I got to charge back. I might have donated a little too much. And you angry about that. Mistakes happen all the time. This man acting like he ain't going to live.
If you donate to somebody, I'm sitting here on stream about to have a heart attack.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Did you really? He must have really needed that money.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad I'm watching this.
That's crazy, man. You guys starting this year off with a bang.
I mean, it happens, right? Like I said, just charge it to the game, Marlon. And then you donate all this money.
Test your might.
All this money. And then you charge it
Yo,
back.
you know he broke that table in half.
And then you mess up my account. Oh, do you understand what this do to my channel?
Oh, here we
Do
go.
you understand?
Marlon can't eat no more.
Oh,
That's why he's so skinny.
begging, right? Shout out to Island Boy. He says maybe the chargeback happened because the person didn't mean to super chat him.
That could also happen too. And even if he did, he might have needed it more for something else. $350 is a lot for somebody. Now, if it was like $2, $5, and, you know, I don't think a person would be desperate for that. But I mean, we're talking about 350. That can go to a payment to something. You know what I mean? Bills or whatever the case is. I mean, at the end of the day, man, you should be grateful that he even sent it to you, man. God was testing you, bro, and you out here acting like a demon because you lost 350 of your money that you never even earned anyway. You should have been grateful that the man even gave it to you in the first place.
Maybe someone got a hold of his account and did something. Who knows, right? A lot of stuff could have happened,
This is
right?
crazy, bro.
I mean, goddamn, it wasn't $100. It wasn't $10. It was like $300. Yes, I mean,
exactly, Sig. See, we all understand as to what's going on here. Now that would be petty. Like you got to be pretty desperate to do a chargeback on a payment of $10, okay? Because they still got to investigate it. But clearly, in my personal opinion, he probably needed the money. He was desperate. He probably was like, damn, I spent too much, man. I'm a huge fan of Marlon, but I really don't think I got it like that. I gotta have to do the chargeback so I can feed my family. And you never once thought of that. You never once said to yourself, you know what, maybe he needed it more. I've had people take things from me, and I say, you know what I say when they do? I said they probably needed it more than I had. Matter of fact, I went to the store one time, and I bought 4 bags of chips. I realized 2 was missing. At first, I was a little like, why would the person working at the store take my chips? But then I realized maybe the person's hungry. I thought of that. Maybe the person's hungry. Now, obviously, if it happens again, I'm going to have to call it out. But I said, maybe the person's hungry. To have to do something like that, to have to take 2 bags of Lay's chips out of my bag so they can afford to eat something. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to think about other people's situation and not just your own.
Already, that should have, waved a flag, a red flag. I mean, like I said, he must have really needed that money, right? Do you understand that this is my livelihood?
Oh, here we go.
Do you understand that at all? I'm sitting here, brother. This is you sitting in what's your brother? This was from 6 years ago. Right? I mean, I wasn't watching his content 6 years ago, but it's brother, I've seen this thing. You just be sitting around. Shout out to Day Reezy. He says, I'm late. Did the funds get shielded yet? No. We have not got. I don't understand it. I know.
What is there not to understand, man? That you're not thoughtful, that you don't think about nobody else but yourself? What happened if the person told you, hey, man, I don't have no money to eat. I sent you too much money. $350, you a good channel. I really like and support your content, Marlon, but now my kids can't eat. What's more important? Just ask yourself, what is more important in this, God-given situation? God was testing you, man, and you failed, bro. You failed the test. You failed it. You thought about yourself out here testing your might, your tables, bro. Like this man out here looking like one of them characters from Mortal Kombat slamming his hand through that wood. Bro, how many karate blocks you trying to go through, karate champ?
Begging means, right? Do you know what begging means? Right? Do you know what a real job is?
This is a bad look.
This is insane. And this really reveals a lot about this guy. I just don't understand it.
That's a bad look.
And anytime shout out to Machine. This is the highlight. I'm so glad that you said this. Shout out to Machine88. He says, you can low-key tell this is real versus the fake console war outrage.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
1,000%. The worst thing that you can do to a content creator. The worst, absolutely worst thing. Don't donate. Don't donate.
Whoa.
Oh, this guy is such a sissy.
This man's salvating over this, bro. Bro, it's not that serious, man. I don't know why you getting so angry about this, man. It wasn't your money to begin with. You should have been just grateful at the fact that it even showed up. Okay, he probably needed it for something else. So what? It's not that big of a deal. I really don't understand why this man. That just shows you that you was dependent on it. That's what it really means. You know what I'm saying? He looked at his refrigerator. He realized there's only 2 cartons of eggs, and he's like, hold on, what? I'm gonna need this.
I get on stream and I said to the person, oh my bad, Davis, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yo.
Brenda Davis? Oh, so he did say his name. Wow. So now you're doxing and everything. Okay, I think that's the scummy shit that what's it called, content creators can do, if you ask me. Well, you are. Really? Really? Wow. I get on stream. And I said to the person, I said, not even person, I just said to everybody, I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm a bum. Yeah, you said, you know what? I'm a bum and I really needed this $300, so I'm going to cry and crash out. And I actually think that I see on that network card, right? Okay. Turns out that it was missing a couple digits for whatever reason.
How you missing a couple digits on a 12-digit card, bro? Hey, yo, what's going on here, man? How you missing a digit? It's only 12 characters on it, man. He acted like it's one of them Xbox codes with 25 characters. Now, that's a little different. Because sometimes I'll be reading, I'm like, hold on, the code ain't working. There's like 25 characters. This man, how you missing a digit on a 12-digit code, bruh? I mean, that's essentially a phone number, man. How are you missing a digit on that? 12 characters? Three. We got 4 letters, 4 letters, and 4 letters. Come on, man.
So I reach out to that individual and I'm like, hey, look,
come on,
like it's
man.
missing a couple digits. What's going on?
How you missing maybe 1 digit? A couple? What you talking about? How you missing a couple digits on a 12-digit code, bruh? Like what? You just gave him 2 lines. You gave him the first line, the second line, but forgot the third line? Like what? It would have been better if you came off and said, well, maybe the lettering is wrong. You know what I mean? Try it again. But missing digits? How? It's only 4 characters on each side. 4 times 3, 12 people. Come on, man.
Email them. They email me back. It's the same thing. So I left it alone. Come to find out, I got so many messages on PlayStation Network, back to back to back to back. Oh, you don't know me like that and this and that. And
he was beefing with them on PlayStation Network.
Doing this fraudulent and this and that. So I just said to myself, I said, you know what? I got so upset yesterday. I said, bro, one thing I don't do is play around in that kind of way with people. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But this particular individual decided that they're going to go ahead and take back the giveaway that they've given a couple months ago.
Hey, he got a bunch of Indian givers on his channel. Whoa.
A particular individual. I'm just going to simplify it just like that. I'm not fixing to go into rage freaking mode. I'm not fixing to go into demon freaking Akuma mode.
Akuma? When you were doing the whole rage thing, right?
Raging demon.
I went back for the context, right?
He did the raging demon for his.
You are a male feminist.
I'm just going to lay it out right now. I'm not going to be like how I was 5 years ago, going on a rampage because it pissed me off. Yeah. Whenever you give something to someone, you should be able to give that to that person and whatever that person decides to do.
But hold on. But I have a story, right? Matter of fact, there was one time, right, when I was walking, right, and I found some money, right? I found some money. I think it was like, what, $20 or whatever. And then, now mind you, I picked it up and I was like, oh, I got lucky. Now, mind you, I think a few seconds afterwards, a lady came by and she's like, oh, I can't believe, I don't know where I lost my money. Now, mind you, this was kind of around the same place of where I picked it up, right? You know what I did? Knowing that was hers, because, I mean, obviously, it had to be hers if she's making a big scene about how she lost $20. I gave it to her. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't have just gave it to anybody because anybody could lie. You feel what I'm saying? But it just shows you, like, you got to have some form of humility, man. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You know, I could have just sat there and walked away while the lady's sitting there scrounging on the ground, looking through the leaf petals to find where this missing $20 was, and I already had it, and I gave it to her because the story checked out. I'm like, oh, okay, this had to be hers if she's out here scurrying through the grass and all that. And, you know, so I just gave it to her. I said, oh, this must be yours. And I gave it to her and I walked away. See, you know what I mean? People like y'all. And the funny thing is everybody always wants to say, Gangster's a bad person. Gangster's the evil. He a meanie. Bro, I'm actually genuinely a very nice person. And the funny thing is, a lot of people, y'all don't see that because you look at the YouTube videos and you're attached to a plastic box. You know what I mean? You people ain't really living. You know, your reality is social media. That's what it is. But like I said, I gave it to her. Knowing. Okay, so I'm saying in your situation, Marlon, knowing that the person, because that is a lot of money to take back, of course, nobody's sitting there saying, we respect the Indian giver, but maybe sometimes you should take and reflect and say, hey, maybe he needed it more. Maybe he needed it more for his family. You know, that was a lot of money. Maybe he needed for some bills so he could provide for his family. You shouldn't have been dependent on that money anyway. It should have been, like you said, it was a gift or a donation, and that's how you should have looked at it. You shouldn't have been dependent, okay, on it. That's all people are saying. This is what Six is saying. That's okay. Nobody has a problem with people donating, supporting their favorite content creators. That's not the problem. The problem is the fact that you was dependent. Okay, that if you didn't get this, you couldn't live no more. This man went back to eating ramen noodles after that happened, man. That was one of the worst years of his life. Eating ramen noodles and Chef Boyardee's, man. You know what I'm saying? He don't know about the hood struggles. Okay. You know, you got to take the 2 ramen noodles and get the other pack and put it in the other one for the extra seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, if you ain't got no milk for your cereal, you got to put water in your bowl, no?
Or if you give it to them for an intended purpose and there's an error or there's something going on, feel free to...
Yeah, he's still pissed. I mean,
he's still mad about this.
At least he's not going to crash out. But at the same time, it's like, if you knew that guy was just on demon time doing that shit, just keep it to yourself and just take the L.
Yeah,
right? It's not that big to do. Like, I mean, it sucks. It definitely sounds scummy, but
yeah,
it is
definitely
what it is, right? It is what more can you really do? It's happened.
I mean, the funny thing is, though, and now we know he ain't just charged, because if you're charged back in your account like that, obviously they investigate. Like, I don't think nobody would charge back an account unless they really needed the money. You got to think about this, guys, for a minute, because think about it. When you do chargebacks like that, you got the banks. They investigating you, man. So it's not something that you could just keep doing. Oh, it was for a joke. I don't think people joke like that. I don't think that when it comes down to their money and their bank account, I don't think people joke like that, from my personal opinion. Because you know why? That's why I know when he did it, he really needed it for himself and whatever his situation was. Because you got to think about it. Nobody's going to want that type of stuff going in their bank account with all these chargebacks. And, the bank, they'll shut your account. They'll be like, you're the one doing fraud here, regardless if you think you're doing it for laughs or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I personally feel that the chargeback was, he probably maybe should have let Marlon know, like, hey, man, and that money I sent you, I got to feed my family type stuff. Can you send it back? I don't know. Maybe something that probably would have been better, but he charged back. Something probably came up and he was like, hey, man, I really need this money. So like I said, I'm not defending the person that did that. Obviously, as a reasonable adult, you should already know how much you're willing to give if that's what you're trying to do. Nobody should, like, for example, if I go out and give something to somebody, I don't see myself taking it back because I'm responsible enough to already have my financial situations fine. But some people are not. You get what I mean? So, like I said, I'm not really on nobody's side with this, but you should have just took, like Sig said, take the L, have some form of humility, and maybe God would have gave you more in the long run.
Don't sit there and take it. Like, do you really think...
But you don't know the situation, though. You don't know. You don't know what the man's struggling. You only worrying about yourself eating ramen noodles and Chef Boyardee cans. That's what you don't know. The man don't have a channel where he can get money like you. You got to think about this, Forza. You don't have that. Now, he probably worked whatever the case is, but he don't have that freedom. You could have probably did a whole live stream and say, hey, man, and then people probably would have donated you an additional $350. And you could have probably made that back with interest. Because people would have respected, say, hey, man, you got a lot of humility. I respect that. And people would have donated to you. But no, you wanted to make a whole scene about this, slamming your tables like you playing Mortal Kombat, Test Your Might, out here doing Raging Demons, breaking through wooden tables. Bro, listen. Listen, man. I get it. It's frustrating. But at the same time, you got to think about other people. If these are your fans and these are your supporters, you should also think about their well-being too. Like Sig said, it wasn't $2 or $5 or $10. That would be pretty petty to do a chargeback. But clearly this shows to me that this was very important, right? That's what it shows to me, because nobody's going to want to continue to, people say, well, they do that to troll. Well, really? You're going to do that to keep trolling? Well, guess what? They're going to terminate your bank account if that's the type of trolling you want to do. So you got to think about that. You get what I'm saying?
He's going to watch this shit and be like, oh, damn, I was in the wrong. I didn't know that's what a donation is. I shouldn't have done that. Like, brother, if anything, he's sitting back enjoying this shit.
And make it seem like, oh, yeah, you're being unappreciative. What are you talking about?
Wow.
Wow. It's a loophole, man. That's how it goes.
I'll leave it right there.
That's crazy.
Well, for those of you who donate, for those of you who sponsor these giveaways, I appreciate you guys. Those of you who are not Indian givers and come back.
And here you go again with the Indian givers. What does that mean?
Or charge it back. Have the audacity to sit there and charge it back. In other words, here is the money that I donated, and let me take it back from you.
But you don't know the context. Like I've said before, I'm going to stop reiterating, but you don't know the context of his situation. You're only worried about your situation and how you can benefit from it. You don't care if that man said, I ain't got no food in my refrigerator. I ain't got no food. You know what I'm saying? I can't buy nothing. I can't pay my bills. You don't care if this man had to do anything. Like I said, you don't know the context. And for the man to do a chargeback clearly means that it was more serious than what it was. At the end of the day, he needed to provide for whatever he got going on. I guarantee if he had the money, he would have probably gave you everything. He probably would have let you keep the $350. He probably would have, or however how much it was. But things came up.
Yeah, he told Marlon to kiss his backside. Yeah, he's laughing and told Marlon to get a job. 1,000%.
Do you know what that does to a content creator?
Ramen noodles.
Do you know what that does to a content creator?
Chef Boy
That
RDs.
basically means, red flag to the bank. Why is money?
Not to you. That goes to him. What you mean? If he keeps doing that behavior, they're gonna terminate. That ain't gonna do nothing to you.
Coming in from this particular individual and then they're charging it back. That does not look freaking good. You're hurting the content creator. You're hurting the relationship between the bank and the content creator.
No, he's hurting himself with his own bank. Because once they find out that those charges are not valid, guess what? He's going to be getting, not you, him. So what are you complaining about?
I don't think, but
matter of fact, you probably could have disputed it. You have the proof. You got the channel. You can screenshot it, send it to your bank, and be like, well, look. You could have easily disputed that. I mean, if it was that much of an issue. This is crazy.
We got fucking Brandon Davis in the chat.
Oh, he's in there?
He's still talking shit about me. Oh, damn. Brandon Davis.
Oh, man, no. Oh, no.
Holy shit, yo.
My fight
Oh,
money!
my God, yo. Brandon's
My
on that
fight
demon time.
money!
Like, he's still mad about this. Insane.
My
people know
fight
this,
money!
but they're just trying to harm you as much as they possibly can because
don't
they
know
don't want to
that,
see
bro.
you succeed. They don't want to see you.
You don't know none of this, man. You out here making assumptions on this person, not knowing his situation.
Bro, they don't want to see you become out to be anything in life. So
What?
therefore, like I said, I don't do drama on this channel, bro. But
you're feeding the trolls right now. Like, just don't give it any oxygen,
For
right?
real.
Hopefully it won't happen again. That's all you really can do.
sometimes certain things,
Yeah, no way. Yeah, that has to be fake. 1,000%, right? You guys getting trolled.
and I'm only gonna say this
Hey, yo,
once.
yeah, that's right.
If you don't feel led to donate or to do a giveaway on this channel, please do us all a favor and keep your money and keep your donations, because one thing is for certain, God has sent amazing human beings,
Oh, my God.
not selfish human beings, not Indian giver.
Hey, yo, this is crazy,
Human
bro. He
beings,
out
but-
here sounding like the churches when they were out here defending themselves because they didn't want to come up with the baby formula.
The one
Human.
Hey, yo, what? Let me hear that again.
for certain, God has sent amazing human beings,
Oh, my
not
God.
selfish human beings, not Indian giver human beings, but the one.
Human. What?
Not selfish human beings, not Indian giver human beings, but the ones
Human.
who have really good hearts and want to see
Hey,
the
yo.
channel become something, want to see
It's more than that. Like I've said before, you don't know. You know, I'm just going to
the
talk.
channel grow. If I say I'm going to do something, I always come through for you boys. I don't play around with stuff like that. If
But what about the console giveaway?
someone has given something for something, you best believe you guys are going to be getting it, because I believe in doing the right thing.
Which I would probably agree. I don't think you purposely try to go out of your way to do stuff like that. But hey, like I said, man, you know, desperate times comes for desperate measures. And, you know, Brandon, whoever the guy's name is, he probably, you know, he was probably more dependent on it. It is what it is, man. I can't believe we starting off this year with this, man.
Karma is a son of a gun. And this is why I live my life doing the right thing. Doesn't matter if it sucks doing the right thing, you do the right thing.
Doing the right thing would be understanding of the guy's situation, understand the context. Like I said, obviously nobody's saying that you don't have a right to be frustrated, but when you start saying things like you was dependent on it, you know, people, they're going to sit there and say, bro, maybe this ain't for you, bro. I mean, if this is like a little side gig, that's fine, but you shouldn't be dependent on this, brother. Okay? At the end of the day, in my situation, because I look at it like this, if that, like whatever happened to you, just be like, all right, well, I mean, yeah, it was wrong in what he did, but maybe the brother needed more than I did. He did donate a lot of money. $350 is a lot. Maybe he needed for some bills or something. Like I said, take your L and keep it moving. And guess what? The community would have supported you in that. I guarantee they would have supported you. They would have probably gave you more than whatever you crying about. But since you didn't have real faith in God, you're left with nothing besides teardrops. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video, man. Like I said, man, this is how we're starting off the New Year's with stuff like this. But hey, just make sure you guys don't keep around your
my fight money.